We have these two figures in the gospel today that I think fit well with what is a very common human experience, which is the feeling in the sense that what we do, it's never enough. It's never enough. We have on the one hand Philip, an apostle. And Philip here is asked the question by Jesus, what can we do to get these people fed? And Philip offers little to no help, does virtually nothing. He just simply says, well, not even 200 days' wages would be able to get them even a little bit of food. Right? So he does nothing, and he's little to no help. But then you have this boy, this kid, this child, who has days' worth of food for he and his family. And he offers this to Christ, which is an enormous sacrifice. Days' worth of food in the first century, he just gives it up on the hope and the prayer that maybe this will be enough to feed the 5,000, which is impossible. The two approaches here have that great thing in common, namely, it's not enough. It is absolutely not enough. No matter how great the sacrifice or the little to nothing that Philip does, it is both. Both are not enough. They never will be enough. And is that not what is oftentimes the experience in our own lives? What we do is never enough. And it's never going to be enough. Right? Think of our own relationships. We can always sometimes do more. Sometimes more is needed, but we can't give it. Think of our work. Think of the great institutions that we support. Think of our parish, right? What we give, all the time, the money we give, it's never enough. It's never going to be enough. It's never enough. And that's the point. There is only one who can make what we do and what we give enough. And that is Jesus. Jesus is the only one who can make what we do and what we give enough. We come here this week, right? Maybe this was a week where we didn't offer as much as we could have in our time. Maybe we didn't go as hard as we could this past week. Or maybe we have no idea how we survived this week. And we just sacrificed and so much was called out of us. We have no idea how we made it to today, but we did. But the commonality is it was not enough. And we then bring whatever we did with us here today. And we prayerfully unite it to those insufficient elements of bread and wine. And we bring those to the altar. We bring those to our Lord on this mountaintop. And he makes it enough. He makes it more than enough. Not only does he answer our own needs, our own desires, and fulfill the deepest parts of us, he does it exponentially for the masses. Today, to 1.2 billion souls throughout the world, 1.2 billion Catholic souls throughout the world, he makes it enough. Guys, for the last several weeks since Advent, we've been going through Mark's Gospel. And Mark's Gospel is the shortest Gospel. And so every time we go through Mark's Gospel in year B, we take this break. and we go through the 6th chapter of John's Gospel. And today we get the first part of that 6th chapter of John's Gospel. And the 6th chapter of John is where we get all of our foundation on what is the source and summit of our faith, the Eucharist. I invite you guys certainly to read through all of John chapter 6 at some point this week. But today we get that first foundational aspect of what the Eucharist is. It is our insufficient offering given to the Lord, who then converts it and changes it into that which is not just sufficient, not just enough, but more than enough. It is that miraculous conversion of our insufficient lives into that which is more than sufficient, into the life, death, resurrection, the grace of Jesus Christ. And right now, we are being asked to make what is, in the grand scheme of things, a not so very big sacrifice. 1 hour a week to sit in front of this great miracle that is the Eucharist. 1 hour a week for 4 weeks so that we can have 31 days of perpetual adoration. It is not a big ask that our Lord invites us to. 1 hour a week. And that small offering by each of us is received by our Lord. And he takes that, and what does he turn that into? Guys, I don't think in the history of either of our parishes have we ever had adoration for 31 days perpetually. What kind of grace will our Lord bestow on our town by our 1 hour a week sacrifice? What kind of life will he bestow on you and me and everyone in our counties for our 1 hour offering a week? Guys, sign-ups are happening right now. Make that sacrifice. Make that offering to the one who can take yours and my hour and turn it into grace beyond all telling, and turn it into abundance. Turn it into his life growing in our midst, in our counties.